Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Fabiola. I'm a student from National Cheng University from the Institute of Creative Industries and Design. I will be presenting my master thesis proposal titled Redesigning a Cross-Cultural Visual Communication Strategy, a Prospective Visual Social Media Marketing Strategy. So this is a small introduction to my research background, which I'm from Honduras. So I've been studying in Taiwan for 7 years. And Taiwan and Honduras have had a political relationship for around 80 years. And within those 80 years, they have created a free trade agreement that has benefited both countries. And during this time, I have noticed that one of the three main components of this free trade agreement are to create employment opportunities, to improve the living standards, to expand and secure markets for goods and services, and especially to promote the participation of different economic agents, especially the private sector. They want to create more introduction of private companies coming to Honduras or from Honduras to Taiwan for both countries. And we can see in this chart from ICDF from 2019 that in the last 9 years, Honduras is the country that has received the most aid from Taiwan, showing that both countries have like a very strong relationship, and Honduras has really benefited a lot from the Taiwanese aid. So how does this come together? From my perspective, I can see that these two countries can really improve a little bit more their trading by learning how to better introduce their products. I want to focus more on the food from the countries because I feel food is an ambassador of culture. It can really represent the country, but food cannot really be introduced as easily because you cannot just bring something so foreign and just expect the people from one country to accept it just like that. For example, Honduran coffee producers have been introducing coffee to Taiwan successfully in the past few years. There's have been some activities created to introduce it, but if we see it from the other perspective, seeing as Taiwan introducing products into the Honduran market, it hasn't been done that much. And it always only focuses on agricultural products, which has always been the main focus of their free trade agreement. That it has just been agricultural products. So seeing it from those perspectives, I would like to focus more on the visual aspect to help these companies try to introduce their products and focus on the social media aspect and the visual aspect of how these products can be introduced. So I will talk about a little bit of my research objectives and questions. My first objective is to understand cross-cultural marketing and identify how design is positioned within this strategy. Cross-culture is a concept that recognizes the differences between businesses of different nations, backgrounds, and ethnicities, and the importance of bringing them together. So I really need to understand how cross-culture is positioned. In my second objective, I want to explore visual communication design in cross-cultural social media marketing strategies. And lastly, and the most important one, is to successfully determine which visual design elements are the most effective when developing cross-cultural social media content for Instagram specifically. And for doing that, I would like to talk about a bit of my literature review. Starting from the cross-cultural marketing, as I mentioned before, cross-culture has become a very important element for branding nowadays, since globalization has reached around the world. now people are more close together than before. The physical aspect from advertisement is really losing importance, and more of the virtual world is becoming more important, especially through social media. So many countries are coming together, and different cultures are just coming together to know more about each other. So knowing how to sell to the consumer is really important to really reach their values. And then going to the second element, that is integrating social media strategies, is important to really know what kind of strategies can really be used, specifically in Latin American countries, to really reach the target demographic that we really want to reach. And since social media really has a lot of graphics and images and videos, those can really connect with people from different cultures. Since now that we're going to the third element, the visual communication design, graphic design is it really connects to people. People talk more through visual language. We really understand very easily. Most of our communication is through visual elements alone. So it can really reach a deeper demographic if the right images in the right way, using the proper elements, are utilized. So explaining a little bit more, I want to talk about the significance of cross-cultural marketing within this research. And cross-cultural marketing really aligns products, brands, and services to the value and structure of the target, utilizing unique communication channels that take into account the sensitivities of the markets, which the outcome is to bridge two different cultures together. And then, then the businesses can really manage to adapt effectively by adding the societal culture, customs, and languages to their organizational culture to really use that cultural diversity into their advantage, because it highlights cultural differences, and it could bring attention to the differences and similarities in marketing. So continuing with the integrating social media, going a little bit deeper into that, many companies really sometimes don't want to make businesses with Latin America, since their performance can still stay good in their own home countries rather than branching out to different countries. But if they really want to maintain their status, they really need to reach out to even more countries and learn how to sell better to those countries. So they need to aim to develop unique social media strategies and avoid using some generic social media marketing strategies, because those really do not work in the long run, and people are becoming, especially millennials, are getting less likely to fall for those generic strategies. And lastly, the main focus of my research is this aspect, the visual aspect. Since humans really mostly communicate through visual elements, using the proper visual elements in social media can really make it when trying to introduce a product. Using the proper colors, using the proper style can really bring the brand together and make it more recognizable and more acceptable towards a foreign group of people. But really having knowing how to use these elements, having a proper guideline, can really make the element more cohesive, make it more understandable, and reach a deeper level for the people, because it will reach their attitudes and their values. So that's the main aim of my research, to really find a way to find a guideline that will guide designers into really knowing how to properly design for foreign countries. And the methodology of this research will be first through literature review to understand the current positioning and marketing strategies that some successful brands have utilized until now. And then we will go to the second phase, that will be through a case study, through interviewing experts in the field, surveying the consumers, and using some content analysis to really get a deeper understanding of the current visual design communication strategies in social media. And lastly, I would like to try to do some A/B testing on the consumers to see how this research, this guideline is working in a selected test, just to see if it is working in the desired manner. Since we want, the main goal of this is to design a cross-cultural marketing strategy that visually promotes the brand, and it's infuses their visual design with marketing, with culture. And so just to go in a little bit deeper, the interviews will be a deeper understanding of the social medias by interviewing the social media designers of those social media brands. Through the online surveys, I want to understand the current thought process of the consumers, how they think, how they perceive the elements, how they perceive the brand, as if it was a more of an international brand or just a more local brand. And through content analysis, I want to understand the current research and the current projects that have been done and the current branding campaigns, just to get a deeper understanding, just so that when I create my test, it will give me the information necessary to really develop the guideline. And just to conclude, some of the contributions that I would like to add from this research will be to get a richer understanding on cross-cultural marketing research, and some practical contributions will be to contribute a visual design guideline that can help marketers and designers alike to enter the Latin market through their cultural products in the best possible way. These are my references and my appendix, and thank you very much. If anybody has any questions, I would gladly answer them right now.